my man with the Old Bay. We'll explain that, but not this night. All right, so reverse grip. We've gone over this before, right? To me, it's pretty like, well, for me it is. To use a forward grip is pretty self-explanatory. Okay? Whether it's in the ready position, to use your terminology, or if it's in the forward if you have some fencing or knife sparring or experience or whatever. Right? But in terms of the reverse grip, I'm thinking of Varg. Right, Varg demonstrated what he did when he got into the fight with Euronymous, and he pretty much showed he was using a reverse grip on a 3-inch blade. He said he was using it defensively, but then he was also stabbing him in return. Okay, I'm not here to judge that or not, obviously, but in terms of the reverse grip, and especially with items that are not really weapons per se, Icy Mike does that too. He was using the reverse grip, kind of in a boxing method. In the lead or in the rear hand, like how would you use the reverse grip defensively? We're not going to talk about using it like a Libra, whatever the hell those guys were. We're talking about defending ourselves.
Well, traditionally, the reverse grip is the best used for sentry removal in a military context.
Oh,
okay, so it's a come from behind murder grip, and it's least effective going downward. Because of the bone structure and the glancing. And if you look at some of the improvised stuff that's right here, glancing becomes a big thing. If you were to use a Libra style, which is like, does a short jab, defensive knife boxing stance, it looks like, in combination with kickboxing and stuff to get in and just, take care of unarmed people. Whether they're attacking you or you're attacking them, it doesn't make much difference because that's a fight thing, which means if they have a gun, you're just dead. You're just going to rip that gun out. They're going to unload it in you. So that's one problem. With preparing for knife war, you want something that's really ergonomic. You want something that's going to fit in your hand. You want something that has a blunt option, and you want something that you can practice with a lot so that you don't have to think about it when the time comes. So if I'm going to use... This is not good. It's going to put a lot of torque right here. I want to hold it right here, like this, because even like with stick fighting, you want the strong grip on the middle finger. These are loose, and these are as tight as you need them, okay? And this way, this gives you this blunt option, which means you do not have to kill somebody, but if you need to stop somebody, you could use this blunt strike here. Most people are going to pull their head away, and then you got the power stroke. The problem with doing this is you have downward glancing activity, okay, and then you have shortening of the stroke.
Okay.
If you practice this a lot, you're going to rip this apart.
Right.
It's why we got away in stick fighting from trying to do the perfect lateral forehand, because you will eventually tear this ligament apart. So what you want to do is a deep stroke. You're better off defending with this, threatening with this, and then finally going in one stroke, okay? Whichever end the blade is on, either rip back or push through, and that's one channel that's going to do more damage than 20 or 30 little pokes. And to the uneducated knife user, to the non-combatant legal person, all of this defensive stuff like this, that's going to take a long while to be effective, that looks like murder. That's the rule. I sat on a jury for a murder trial with a knife, and the rule is more than one stab, that's intent to murder. That's not self-defense. I mean, that's like a Western world rule because it's a non-blade culture. So you're better off waiting for the more effective single stroke, whether it is here, right in here. If it's lateral, it can get through the ribs, and maybe pop along and come out under the rib, liver and come out, or a real easy one, around and down, to the kidney, pull out. That's a total stoppage there. You better only do one because that's going to kill him. Okay, or to the lung. Like
geez.
this. So you never really want to do this one because you got to hit them too many times. It's not going to have stopping power, and you want to be careful about going behind. Okay, which is if you want to reach around with it, you're better off physically getting behind them and getting them from the front, like this. So it doesn't look like you stabbed them from behind, because again, you're in court. You're going to be dealing with idiots that don't understand that struggling bodies in combat might turn.
Right.
Okay, because they never watched a boxing match, never been in a gym. So the other thing is you can, with blunt objects to represent this, you can practice this a lot.
Yeah, you like
okay?
it.
This is using muscle. This is using solid muscle here. Okay, if you have to use it from this hand, if you're seated in your car, if you practice gripping it and you make this a habit. I just experimented with these today because you brought these. This is the worst one. This always has more glancing than this. I practice with this on different objects, including me. For your car, if you're going to be carjacked from this side, what you really want is one on this side and one on this side. Okay? Not because you're going to use both of them, because you don't know if your sister's going to leave the car door unlocked while she's asking this beggar if he needs anything, and he's just going to push her out of the way and get in next to you, or if his buddy's going to grab you from over here. If his buddy grabs you from over here, you can pin the arm, you can pull this up, bam, one and done. Okay? And then you can switch to him, to the guy that knocked your idiot sister in the gutter, and you can take care of him like that. And this one wouldn't be a stab. This would be a control move with something like this, where you would reach around behind him. You could snake around behind him like this if you have to. You could stuff the head. You could do this, okay? But as soon as you go in, as soon as you get in, you want to go in as deep as you can, because you only want to have to do it once. And you want to make it as disabling as you can, which means making the stroke and the exsanguination channel as large as possible, okay, so that you only have to do it one time. As stupid as it sounds, I mean, that's legally safer than, I mean, come on, you're just asking to go away forever, because this is the way they kill dudes in prison, because they're using like stuff that's not even this nice. So any improvised thing that you might have around, I was experimenting with this. This works best in the hand, and it gives you the blunt option. You've got a punching ability right here, and you don't have to use this, but you can.
You can.
Okay, you can use it for a hook, okay, or you could use it to go deep. Not as flexible with this. You've got less of an angle, okay, than you do with this, but it's the safest way to do it. Every other way felt like a broken finger waiting to happen. I stayed in this nice hotel room, okay, run by these Russian guys in Chicago, and I didn't know what this was until I saw the wine glasses like near it, and I was trying to figure out like how would I use it? Could I use it like this? Okay, and then I found out that it's a corkscrew.
Oh my God!
I'm not a wine drinker. You are Italian, so this is another present.
Only half Italian.
Okay, so well, that's 100% more than I am.
That's right.
So you want something that's unmodified. It's a tool that has a reason for being wherever it is, and in the gym, you want to practice with something that is the same grip property, same length, and you practice with it a lot and put the muscle memory in without damaging your elbow tendons, which is the danger to doing much of this. Okay, you're just asking to really tear, and I've torn this on both arms before. It's no fun. Okay, even urinating is difficult once you tear one of these legs.
I can. Okay? All right, cool, interesting, very interesting.
And so it sounds like from what you described about Varg's encounter, if they would have called me in to look at this thing after I'd done the knife survey, it would just sound like guy's first time use of a knife, defensively looks offensive to the amateur, from outside of a knife culture. The Filipino guys would have just criticized him for not being committed enough to the kill.
Well, I mean,
making a mess of it.
The final stroke, holy crap, went right through Euronymous' forehead.
So there's going to the tentative stuff. He'd get in as much trouble from like whatever little things happened that weren't the killing stroke that would make the killing stroke look like it was intended all along. So you've always, if you're going to use a knife, you got to be prepared to, or anything that goes into the body at all, you got to be prepared to be crucified. So it's got to be something you have a reason to have, and you want to be really careful about no multiple stabs.
Yeah, that's I get what you're saying.
One stab, one cut. Okay, and it's all part.
And you can smash with the blunt stuff a little more, obviously. I mean, that's probably preferable.
And you're better off.
Your Honor, look, I mean, I could have, but I didn't. I was.
You would use this to hit the temple.
They have no honor.
Okay, or get them to back out, and ideally, hook them with this.
Right, you like that. Okay. You like that.
And then you don't have to put it in anybody.
Right, the grappling option on that is interesting.
And within a couple of seconds, particularly at night, okay, because things don't happen in total dark, this will be seen, okay, and then that's going to take it to a different level. Usually somebody's going to be looking for the exit when they see something like this. Yeah. So you don't want to show it right off the bat, but if you've shown that you know how to use it and you've gained superior position, and then they notice that you have steel in your hand, there's an instinctual response even when people hear steel. I've had, with dogs, with humans, and you could hopefully not have to stab anybody. That's your goal.
So show the grip one more time before we exit.
Anything that you find, how is it going to work? You want to have consistent force with the middle finger, okay, like that, okay? This is the strong side of the forearm, counterintuitively applied with the two small fingers. The two small fingers are the strong ones, the dumb ones. The smart, weak ones are the forefinger and the thumb, and you really need to protect them. And this is the part of the forearm that you can expend more. And it's got the power, and this is much more delicate in terms of nerve, blood,
inside,
bone,
tendon,
and everything. Okay, so you want to protect that, and you can always assist with this. Okay, you could, if you had to, assist like this as well. Okay, if it turned out to be some kind of weird dinosaur. All right.
All right. Pretty cool. The expanding on the reverse grip. All right, man. Cool. So, what a cool channel I have, right? Where are you gonna get stuff like this? With a guy like this? Come on.